Who is Yuji Krishnamurti? Is he an enlightened being or simply a fraud? Why did he criticize almost all the teachers, gurus, scriptures, and also spirituality? What did others say about him? These are some questions which bother everybody sooner or later who come across the statements or the biography of UG Krishnamurti. It is really very difficult exactly to know that whether a person is enlightened or not because nobody else can say about any person. And it does not matter whether any particular person is enlightened or not. The only thing which matters is, are you benefited by the words, statements, or the teachings of that particular person at the particular time or at the particular stage of your spiritual advancement? I also don't know whether UG Krishnamurti is an enlightened being or not, and I'm pretty sure nobody else can say about his enlightened state, whether he is enlightened or not, except those few persons who has sit in his presence. Because Bhagwan Sri Raman Maharshi once said that when a question when a question put to him that how can one know whether a guru is true or not, he said there is no particular criteria for judging or evaluating whether a particular person is enlightened or not, or whether a person is true guru or not, except the peace you feel in that person's presence. And in case of UG, many of his visitors and friends who earlier were in some or the other kind of spiritual sadhanas, spiritual practices, and they got fed up with all those spiritual practices and finally came to the UG, and there they found the peace in the presence of UG. And his words made their psychological structure collapsed, if not completely, but up to the more or less level. His words made collapse their cultural or psychological structure conditioning, and after that they found great peace. Though we cannot say that Jiju Krishnamurti is an enlightened being or not, but he is surely a unique phenomena. And the way She devastated all the teachers, gurus, scriptures. Needs a great courage. And this kind of courage does not belong to any ordinary person. There must be some power to have that kind of courage, to show that kind of courage. And surely many people have been benefited by the teachings of UG Krishnamurti. Teachings is not the right word. I think we should use the statements or the words or by the anger of UG Krishnamurti. Many people have been benefited. If a speaker shares his own personal views, at one time of his spiritual practices, he got stuck at somewhere because the psychological structures, psychological mentality holds a man, and a man thinks that a man is not aware uh, of his psychological conditioning. He thinks that yes, it's the truth, but if somebody points out that it's not the truth, it may be your idiosyncrasy or your prejudice, which you don't know how have they come in your mind, how have they gripped you. So UG Krishnamurti had given me or the speaker a light, a instrument to doubt everything. He also made me stand or made the speaker stand on his two solid feet. So in this way, UG is unique. Moreover, who can judge the acts of a realized being or an enlightened being? Most probably, he is an enlightened being because his acts does not need the approval of social respectability, and he had not accumulated any kind of wealth. He did not desire any kind of name, fame, though he was surrounded by many Bollywood personalities and many other famous personalities. Still, he did not do anything which was immoral. After the event which he called calamity, and there is also a story where a palmist saw his palm and said that he is an Atma itself. Another incident that belonged to the day of Mahasivratri, Brahmachari ji, his close friend, saw in his eyes a cobra, and later on Yuji said to him that don't visit me on Mahasivratri. One more story is that when he won, an astrologer suggested or said that he would become a great personality in the future. He also said that he would become enlightened on his 49th birthday. At, and it happened so. So there are all these factors which make one believe that he is not an ordinary person. He is a unique phenomena, and God or Supreme or the Absolute used his body as an instrument to disentangle all the disentangle the spiritual seekers who got stuck in tradition, in culture, under the burden of the holy scriptures, holy gurus. Thank you.